you want to learn how to make the best cupcakes that melt in your mouth, that are just perfect and uniform, then you need to come with me and watch this now. I'm Nicola from Caketastic Worcestershire. Come on. I've got ingredients here. They've all been at room temperature for about an hour. So we've got butter, proper butter, caster sugar, plain flour, baking powder, an egg, and we've got some milk and a little bit of vanilla extract. So the recipe for this is on my website, and I'll pop a link below so you can just use the recipe, save it at home and use it time and time again. So we're going to start by putting our butter and our caster sugar into our mixer. Now, I just want to point out to you that we're using our K-beater today. Now, why are we doing this rather than our normal beater that I use to make sponge cakes? And the reason for that is very simple. This is a breadcrumb style recipe. So there are two ways you can make cupcakes. Using a creaming method, which you'd use something like this in your mixer, or there's a breadcrumb method, and you'd use your K, in this instance, a K-beater. There's the K, as you can see. The reason I do this is it makes them lighter, fluffier and airier. And my recipe, with all the ingredients and all the measurements and stuff, is on the website, as I said before. Come and have a look in the bowl. So we're just going to mix this up. I don't want this to be blended. I want this to resemble breadcrumbs. Doesn't matter if you've got great big chunks of butter in there that aren't quite mixed. What this does, using butter, it gives, once the cupcake's baked, it gives a lovely texture and a real butteriness. People will say that these are really moist and they stay moist for days. Most cupcakes, you're lucky to get a day or two out of them before they start to go dry. These you'll get 3 to 4 days out of them before they start to go dry, and that's the method that's used to make them, but also the fact that I'm using proper butter as well. So just turn that mixture up a little bit more. It doesn't have to all be blended, as I say. We're just looking for like a breadcrumb consistency. I'm going to turn that off now. Can you see we've got some big lumps in there? That's absolutely fine. There's no problem with that at all. I'm now going to add my flour and my raising agent, which is baking powder. So we'll pop those in now. Make sure everything goes in the bowl. And we're just going to mix that up again. I've got my nice rainbow spatula today. I love this one. It's my current favourite. So we're just going to mix that. And again, you're looking for like a sort of, as and when you make like apple crumble or a crumble of some description, that's sort of a consistency you're looking for. It doesn't matter if the breadcrumbs are slightly bigger than you would use in an apple crumble, but that's what it is you're looking for. And that'll do nicely if you want to have a look. Can you see how they've all started to separate? That's perfect. What we're now going to do is add our egg. Just squeeze that in there. You'll note I'm not mixing it at this point. We're not going to mix it just yet. I'm now going to add my milk, and in my milk I've got a little bit of vanilla extract because we're going to make vanilla cupcakes today. So pour all that in. Most people say this is quite a wet recipe. Yeah, it is, but it's a cupcake recipe. It's not a cake recipe. It's very different. So we're just going to mix those until our egg is just starting to combine, and that's all we're going to do. What a lot of people do, because these are small cakes, they overmix it and they overbeat it, and that just makes them tough. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to take my beater and my bowl, and I'm going to go back over to there. It's not quite mixed in just yet, but we're going to do the rest by hand. So I'm just going to get all those little bits off my beater. Quite often they get stuck in the nook and crannies. But we want nice big cupcakes. We don't want to leave any in our bowl or on our beater here. Okay. So I'm now going to fold. For those of you that don't know, folding is a capital D. So I'm basically drawing a capital D in my bowl with my spatula. And I'm being nice and light. I'm lifting it up there. And that's just to make sure we get plenty of air in the recipe. So I'll go a little bit quicker. And all the flour's now combined. Hopefully you can see that. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to put the batter into my cake cases. There are a few ways you can do this. So I've used a measuring jug before. I tip all of this into a measuring jug and then I pour them in so they're all really even. Or I use an ice cream scoop. So this is brilliant. No mess. Well, not a lot of mess anyway. So we get a spoonful of mixture. Just wipe that off. And we're going to just pour it into our cake cases. What this does is it makes sure it's really consistent. So you've got a consistent amount in each cupcake case. Here we go. And these are brilliant. I mean, cupcakes are just the easiest thing to make, but they can look really, really special. And we've got another video that will teach you how to do some piping onto your cupcakes. We're going to be piping a sunflower in that particular video. So I'll just pop this one in and we'll put a link below this video. So if you want to have a go at piping the sunflower, you can do. I'm just going to fill these up a little bit. There's a couple that haven't quite got enough in there. You're typically looking to fill your cupcake case until it gets just below the top of the circle here. Just because I don't like any waste, I'm going to make sure I get every bit of batter out of here. There we go. Just going to pour a little bit more in that one and a little bit more in that one. It's amazing because you sort of looked at the mixture and you're thinking, is that really going to go far enough? But it always does. And there are our filled cupcake cases. These are then going to go into our oven, which is preheated at 160 degrees here in the UK, or gas mark 3. So we'll go and pop those into the oven now, and these will bake for exactly 18 minutes. Not a minute more or a minute less, exactly 18 minutes. So we'll go and pop those in the oven now. Okay. Our timer's done, so our cupcakes have been in for 18 minutes now. So we're going to take those out. Oh, look at those. So they've got a lovely light golden brown colour. How do we know that they're cooked? We're just going to insert a skewer. And can you see how clean that comes out? There we go. Just going to check this one and the last one. Always check every cupcake because sometimes, dependent upon where they're located within the oven, some cook a little bit quicker than others. So these are going to go onto our cooling rack now. So these have been out of the oven, these lovely cupcakes here, for about a minute. So can you see how lovely and spongy they are? Literally you press them and they jump straight back up again, so they look really nice. It's really important to not leave them in the tin for too long. If you do, what happens is they all get a bit damp on the base. You want to avoid that. So now we're just going to move our cup. I can't do it because it's too hot. I move that to one side. I'm then just going to take the cupcakes out and pop those onto a cooling rack. Spread them out so you've got space between them. And what will happen is the air will just go around those and they should cool off nicely. And then we're going to turn these into a sunflower cupcake, and we're also going to make some really nice posh Victorian mini sponges with them as well. So come back to me later as soon as these have gone cool. I'm guessing it's probably going to take about 20 minutes.